What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm MUGZY, upcoming hip-hop artist from Sydney, Australia, the land down under. And right now I'm going to do, this little blog interview sesh of, my career and tell you viewers and fans and whoever's watching this a little bit about myself. Obviously, hip-hop is worldwide, it's global. You can tell from, some of my books up on the shelf, my bios and that. I'm not going to show you the most of my room because it's obviously about me. But, yeah, let's get into this. And this is for my guys over at Expensive Music Podcast. Shout thanks to you guys, for wanting me to do this, because like I think I did for my radio shout out video, and like sending my tracks off. Any exposure is great exposure. So thanks for playing my music as well, guys. And hip hop is universal, it's global, and it's just crazy where it can just be from Australia to like across the globe, and we can connect now with all this social media. But I'm dragging on with this, and hopefully whatever I tell you viewers gives an in-depth on myself. So I'm 27. I started hip-hop music when I was roughly 14, 15, the early thousands era. So we had Eminem, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, the whole shady like movement stuff. And it's crazy because as a kid I never thought in like my lifetime I would ever meet anyone associated with that. And through my career recently I got to meet Obi Trice and Swifty from D12 who actually grew up with Eminem, and basically like his brothers. So I kind of kept my cool with that one, but it was still kind of like warming to my heart, knowing like, damn, I looked up to you guys and you mean so much to me, and now I mean you. But yeah, as 14, 15, man, before I found hip-hop, I wasn't the the hip-hop kiddo. Then I was kind of like the I guess you could say kid without any culture, or the outcast sort of kid. And that I used to get punked and bullied a lot, from the other kids, because I didn't really have an identity within myself. And that's why I can relate to the teens now, man, that go through that hard times, because they're kind of growing in their adolescence phase. They can't really see into the future. They always think in the now of, why is the world hating me? And, why is everyone pushing me down? And that's why you have suicide rates go up. And as that age, man, I fell into that dark hole of that trap of, depression thoughts and suicide, and, like this mental illness and stuff. And, I always say that the 90s and the early thousands era, man, was the pinnacle of, the marketing strategy of hip hop. Like, I remember going home and watching it on MTV, BET, VH1. It was in movies, video games, clothing. It was just, these guys, man, would look like superheroes in a way, like these godlike mentalities of, they could walk into any situation, any neighborhood, any circumstance, and like nothing would bring them down, because it was just that raw anger and passion, and in their lyrics, and and their imagery and stuff. And I wanted to be like that. I didn't want to be that shy, scared kid anymore. I wanted to associate myself within the culture. So at first, man, 14, 15, I started mimicking exactly what Eminem did with, like, his Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady kind of vibe, which was real twisted lyrics and, like real anger wordplay. But then, like, as I started, dabbling with the culture, I started researching about, and I would see these guys like Run DMC and KRS-One and Cool Herc, and like these black and white photos, and I'll be like, wait, wearing the Kangol hats and the big rope loop chains, and the Adidas, and LL Cool J with the boombox on his shoulder, and I'll be like, yo, these guys aren't from my era. Who are these dudes? And then I realized there was so much more of a culture out there besides the early thousands. So I realized that it was brought up in 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, South Bronx. 45 years it's been here. So the birth was August 11th 1973, if viewers don't know about that. And yeah, it started with, DJ Cool Herc and African Bambaataa and, Grandmaster Flash and all those dudes, the block parties, just rocking the turntables and grabbing the mic and seeing who can flow and rock the crowd. And if you're a hip hop head, you would know that. But yeah, I started researching about the culture and stuff and really embedded, I can't even pronounce the word, embedded it in myself, you know what I'm saying? So, I would look at these guys like Cool Herc and, especially KRS-One, because he's like a teacher, like a pioneer, and he would say, this culture is only built on being yourself. It's not built on, you can have your idols and your influences, of course, to stem your career, but if you're literally mimicking and just doing what they're doing, you're not going to get far in it. You have to find your own destiny. So I dropped the whole Eminem thing, and I started just writing about myself, like why I want to make it in this industry, and what I see the hip-hop culture as to me, and like my depression and stuff, and trying to just use this platform to give back to whoever's listening. So that's like a little origin story on my background. But from 14 to about now, a lot of people look at what I've done in my career, like my fan page, my 2 albums, working on a third at the moment, my ton of radio play, interviews, features, acting gigs, just the list goes on. Like, to whoever's got in touch with me know exactly about this list I'm talking about, but they instantly think that I've got a label or a manager or a street team behind me. They're like, MUGZY, this can't be a one-man thing, like this can't be, like, all this stuff that you've done in your career, no way, like, no way. And I say, I don't lie, like, why would I lie, like, so it's crazy, because all I need is like a cup of coffee, my laptop, my phone, a hustle mindset, a drive, and that's it. I see guys that have managers, have labels, have street teams, and they become lazy, man. Like, they just say, oh, you go, promote me, and meanwhile I'll go out on the weekend and party with my friends and stuff, and then, like, when Monday comes, they're just like, yo, like, why am I only played on one station? Meanwhile, with me, it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna hit up, like, I'm gonna hit up these radio stations, I'm gonna hit up, these blogs, promote my music on this, and, like, it's you see the accomplishments compared to what these guys are doing, you know what I'm saying? So that's how much of the hustle and drive that I want it more, you know what I'm saying? So it just shows. But that's a little bit of in-depth of my career, because my battery's about to go low. Sorry, guys. But, check out Expensive Music Podcast. That's a little brief, origins of my career. Check me out, the link below. Check them, most importantly, out at the link below, not the blink below, at the link below. And I gotta head out and do some more errands and some more runs, and keep supporting real hip hop for 2018. Hopefully this told you a little bit about my origins, and keep supporting real hip hop for 2018. Like I said, 5 elements, not 4. People say it's 5, but people say it's 4, but I say it's 5, because knowledge is key. And keep supporting me with expensive music and MUGZY. I'm out. Peace.